Rams here, Elijah, Ash, Samuel is with us. We've got Carl as well. We'll come to you guys in a moment. Hussam, brother, what happened at the end? Break the game down for us, Mudgy.
Break the game down. We deserve to lose. 100% we deserve to lose. Worst performance all season, that first half as well. If it wasn't for Alisson, we'd have been 5 or 6 down. They had the post twice. He saved like 2 one-on-ones. So they deserve to win for me. I said pre-game on Straight Facts, it was there. I said it's going to be a tough game. I said I'd take a draw. This is the reason why. This team is very difficult to break down. They're very well organized. It's a difficult team to play against. And we deserve to lose. And to be honest with you, it's good we lost because we got humbled today. Because we deserve this humbling. Because we turn up to stadiums thinking that we just deserve to win, and just like our aura and presence is going to get the 3 points. That first half performance was pathetic and disgraceful. And all like Konate, for me, worst player on the whole pitch, just got absolutely like ragdolled by Mateta. It's just I don't even know what to say, to be honest with you, with this Mateta on Konate violence. He got absolutely abused. We deserve to lose today's game. We are humbled today, and I hope this is the kick up the ass that this team needs, because this is deserved, And for me, they if it wasn't generally for our goalkeeper, we wouldn't have even been in a position where Chiesa could have scored an equalizer at the end. The only reason why is Alisson. For me, the only 2 players deserve credit is Alisson and Van Dijk. The rest of the team all were either average or shit or subpar or just straight up ass like Konate. So yeah, people talk about 007. Verts in the second half actually had a good game, in my opinion. I don't think he was bad in the second half. He was actually good. The Premier League GOAT went 009, so please do check your history and learn about the beautiful game. So yeah, big up you guys. We deserve to lose today's game, but I turn up, win, lose, or draw. I'm not like certain fan bases.
I hear you. I want to ask you about a couple of players individually today. What did you make of Alexander Isak's performance in this game?
He should have scored. He had 2 or 3 moments to score. Wirtz should have scored as well. Like, we created enough chances, but we weren't clinical, which is something you don't associate with Liverpool. So we should have scored, to be honest with you. He should have scored. He had a couple of good moments. But with Isak, I will 100% give him leeway because he's already scored his first goal for the club and because the guy hasn't even had a preseason. So this all is basically his preseason, essentially. So, yeah, he's going to be a Liverpool player for the next 6 years. And we don't need him for just one game. We need him for the next 6 years. So for me, he should have scored, should have done better. But I give him leeway just because he basically hasn't had the preseason. But Konate's had the preseason, so he doesn't get the same leeway. Same thing with Bradley. Bradley, oh my God, that first half. Oh my God. That right-hand side, people coming into the game might have said, oh, Karkas is not having a good season. Maybe Glasner will target Karkas. No. Glasner targeted Bradley and Konate. And that right-hand side got abused all game long. And Frimpong came on and he wasn't even much better than Bradley. So.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I do. I just want to run to Ram. Ram's got to shoot off for a second. Sorry, I just want to say, Ram, what did you make of it today? Because look, Palace are a good team, taking nothing away from Crystal Palace, but you guys were nowhere near the standard. And there have been a few other games this season where, being caught on the counter has been called out and, late goals have kind of got you out of a little bit of trouble. Do you feel this is a carry on from then, or was this more about just not being able to handle the intensity and the power of Palace today? You're on mute, bro.
I think this game was pathetic from Liverpool. I haven't seen us be architects of our own downfall and also getting abused the way we did by Crystal Palace. As in, Mateta was absolutely bullying Konate the entire game. Pino was running rings around Conor Bradley. And like you said, Terry, the only W I can take from this is the fact that I can happily say Alisson Becker is the best goalkeeper in the world. This guy saved it from being 7-0 at halftime. So that's the only thing I can take away from this game. I thought Szoboszlai had a decent game, especially in that second half, because he seemed as though our only creative outlet. I think Salah, I'm going to use the words for Benzema. He played against us today. The fact that, like you said, Szoboszlai's shot was going in and the velocity that it was going at and the power that he generated, I think it would have been a massive problem for Crystal Palace. I think it would have gone into the back of the net, in my opinion. But I can't speak about this performance because this performance was we couldn't string 5 passes together. Whether that's down to Crystal Palace's ability to press us, their determination, and also their desire to win the game, but this game, the balance of the team was completely off. McAllister, even Slot said in his press conference, McAllister is still holding some of the pain from the injury from last season, and he hasn't had a proper preseason as well. And yet we still start him week in, week out. It doesn't make sense. You identify that he has an issue, so why aren't you playing Curtis Jones, who's when he's come onto the pitch has done very, very well for us? Prime example, Newcastle. And I'm going to say this until the cows can run home. And I've spoken to Hussam about this. Why the hell is Federico Chiesa not seeing starting minutes for this football club? The amount of times I've been begging for this guy to play is ridiculous. The fact that he comes on today with only 20 minutes left and still ends up getting a goal is quite frankly unacceptable. He put in a man in the match clinic against Southampton, and he doesn't see any starting minutes. It just doesn't make any sense at all. When he came on, you saw there was a much more direct play that we're playing. The fact that we're trying to get opportunities and go, and he's at the heart of every single one of them. And we're not allowing him to play. I've asked for him to start games last season, and he's even proved it this season. Proved it against Bournemouth, proved it against Southampton, that he deserves to play. And now he's not getting any minutes. It's just ridiculous. I have to say a lot of the blame today I am putting on Arne Slot today, because he did set us up in the wrong way and we did lose, arguably because of him.
Look, I think very, very fair, very, very fair kind of breakdown there. There was an odd imbalance to it today.
It's a formation that we played compared to one of Slot's biggest issues is 3-5-2s. We saw it last season. He can't for some reason he can't seem to break down a 3-back system. But what he does, he reverts a type and doesn't change the style of play that we play. Why didn't he decide to play a 2 up top? We praise Arne Slot for being a very shrewd tactician, but yet he plays the same style that we did last season and still expecting the same result. Like, you have players available, you have the quality of players available. Why don't you do something different against the system that you struggle against? Is my question.
Bro, why do you think Alisson's the best keeper in the world? Because he just isn't. That was just a false statement that you said.
How is it
My
a false
question?
statement?
Who is?
Because
Gigi Donnarumma.
no, I know Gigi Donnarumma.
Oh God!
No, he is. Wait, I mean, you say this, but how did the first goal get conceded? It was a corner that came to the 6-yard box,
which Gravenberch headed back into the 6-yard box. It's the same exact carbon copy goal that we conceded against Southampton.
A commanding goalkeeper in the 6-yard box will come out and get that.
Well, if you saw the replay,
and then the last goal, it went through his legs.
Ash, if you saw the replay, Gravenberch was the highest out of everybody, and he had full control of that. The problem is he misheaded the ball and he's headed it straight back to the 6-yard box. That was Gravenberch's. Even Gravenberch called for the goal. That's not an Alisson. If your defender can't head the ball properly, then I'm sorry. And even
the second goal, Curtis Jones headed it into Nketiah, basically.
And it's a 1v1.
And if you're expecting a keeper to save it from there, then you're just being disingenuous, which you are.
And by the way, the person that challenges Alisson has a notorious history of not being able to close his legs as well, which is Courtois. So I'm not going to give any hate towards those 2 goals. They're 2 very well taken goals and 2 very poor pieces of defending.
And we deserve to lose anyway. If you're telling me, it would be 6 or 7.
If you're telling me that Gigi Donnarumma is better, well, if you look at the past 5 to 6 years, Donnarumma hasn't lived up to his potential, and he's also been very poor in majority of those 5 to 6 years. If you ask PSG fans prior to Luis Enrique coming in, they were very, very underwhelmed with him.
Bro, what you just said then, 5 to 6 years, 6 years ago, bro was 20. If you think a keeper at the age of 20 is going to be the best in the world, you're just wrong.
Well, you contradicted yourself.
But Alice, it's not my fault. He's 20 years old.
This is literally the complete
Alisson was 6 years ago. Was the best goalkeeper in the world.
I'll be honest with you, Ash. I think he's the best goalkeeper in the world as well. But I don't think this is the right game to be talking about. If it wasn't for Alisson today, they probably lose by 4 or 5 goals. He was sensational.
By the way, you're talking to a guy
maybe commanding. This is the thing with it, isn't it? There are some things that he's going to be weaker at than say Donnarumma. There's some things that Donnarumma's weaker at than Alisson. They're both. What we can all agree on is that they're better than Chelsea's Rob Sanchez. I think we can all just agree on that one.
Gary, I've got to shoot though. Appreciate
cheers,
you,
bro.